And good morning, Brad Logan alongside Jared Redding here at SEC Media Days 2022. We expect to hear from Lane Kiffin and some more Ole Miss football players in just for a little bit. But Jared, kind of your opening thoughts about the College Football Hall of Fame here at the Omni Hotel. It's a really nice setup.
Yeah, ever since it opened, I believe it was in 2014 when it opened, the College Football Hall of Fame has just been a technological marvel and just such a hub for college football fans, not just here in the Southeast or in the South, but just everywhere around the United States. You see fans here wearing their teams shirts all the time. A lot of them are from the SEC, which is fitting why the SEC Media Day is here. We're going to be hearing from, like you said, Lane Kiffin and Cedric Johnson, Jonathan Mingo, and Nick Broker, good representatives of their side of the ball for a team that could possibly make some noise in 2022. A lot of things have to happen for it to repeat, last year's success, last year's team that made to the Sugar Bowl. So it's going to be interesting to see today just what Kiffin has to say and what his players, have to say ahead of this season.
This event has always historically been in Birmingham, moved over to Atlanta, which Nashville and Atlanta kind of been adopted as taking over a little bit for Birmingham for an unofficial adopted city for the SEC. Really nice setup here. Is this something you think they might continue to kind of broaden the footprint just for a little bit, especially a lot of expansion talk here coming?
Yeah, especially so. I mean, Atlanta is, one of the, biggest, metro meccas just of the United States, but kind of the capital of it, so Southeast. And, as far as, the SEC, we all know about the expansions, looming with, Texas and Oklahoma coming to the SEC, but also fitting that it's here too because they're going to be playing an SEC championship game just right across from where we are now, just, a couple blocks down at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So, it's a very good setup, and also just a lot of good places to be around here. Even if you're a fan, just wanting to just be just in the same general area, breathing in the same air as some of these coaches and some of these players coming in. So it's just good for everyone involved.
Let's talk about Ole Miss just for a moment. We'll hear from Lane Kiffin roughly after lunch, so everybody can be on the lookout inside the Rebels for that. What are you kind of expecting from Lane Kiffin today? You expect any news, or this just kind of be just status quo? What are you kind of expecting?
I think anytime Lane Kiffin walks in and there's any media involved, there's going to be a lot of pizzazz. That's just the type of attention that a guy like Lane Kiffin can bring. He's, Keith Carter said it upon his hiring. He's a lightning rod, and he's going to attract a lot of cameras, a lot of voice recorders. But as far as just the football talk, I think it would be surprising that the first question would be about the quarterback situation. I think that's the main storyline of just this entire season. How do you replace a guy like Matt Corral? On the surface, you look at the transfer portal, and high-profile guys coming out of the portal. You think Jackson Dart, you think he's going to start. Well, at the same time, Luke Altmaier has something to say about that, and he showed that, that he was going to be able to compete based on, what we saw in the spring games. I think that's the first thing that he's going to have to bring up, defensively. How good can this defensive line be? How good can, some additions in the secondary can be? How good this offensive line can be, which is something that not a whole lot of people are talking about. You have three guys, like David mentioned the other day, who could possibly be NFL caliber players. So I think, I think a lot of it goes the position groups that are most strong and the ones who, there's some question marks around there. How are you going to replace, three key performers at receiver? How are you going to replace some key guys at linebackers? So I think a lot of team stuff's going to be addressed, and a lot of off-season drama, I think, a lot is going to be in on it as well. Of course, Kevin attracts a lot of headlines, but at the same time, guys like Nick Saban, guys like Jimbo Fisher, guys like Brian Kelly are also going to bring that same attention to SEC Media Day.
Brad Logan alongside Jared Redding. Full coverage at Rebs247.com, an affiliate of 247 Sports. And Inside the Rebels, we'll have full coverage for you at Inside the Rebels. We'll have coverage from Cedric Johnson, the other players that are coming, and also, of course, head coach Lane Kiffin, and maybe talk about a couple of the other coaches today. Of course, Brian Kelly for LSU is going. We'll have full coverage throughout the day here on Inside the Rebels. Stay tuned.